going on, guys? Happy holidays. Welcome to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to talk about that Gusting. I was able to obtain him in the event. I was extremely lucky, and so far I will say that he is a pretty decent unit. So in this video, I'm basically going to give you guys an analysis and basically show you guys this character's potential and whether or not you should invest in Gusting. But before I get started on the video, make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and also turn on post notification bell so that you guys can always stay tuned as to post new videos. I'd really appreciate it. And if you guys are new here on the channel, I have a Discord server. So if you guys have any questions, you can join the server by going to my channel description. You see the server link there, and I'll also post a server link in the comment section down below. But anyways, let's not waste any time. Let's hop right into the video. So like I said before, I was able to obtain Gusting and the event, the gacha, like, you know, the lucky draw event. So I got him over here. If I come to Gusting Secret Tome and we basically check the lucky draw event, if the game actually lets me in. I hate when the game does that. All right, so we check over here to lucky draw, and I was able to obtain Gusting in the 6th phase of the lucky draw event. So I was extremely lucky. So overall, I literally have no copies on this character. So I was able to upgrade his exclusive equipment to level 4, and so far this character, I will say that his potential, he definitely has potential, but he's definitely going to require some sort of investment in order for him to truly shine. Now for his limit break, like I said, I have no copies on this character. His proficiency, of course, is maxed out. For his report, I was able to bring him up to at least level 5 to get that 100 evasion. And I'm gonna go ahead and talk about his skill. So before we talk about his equipment and, you know, which set you should put on him, let's talk about his skill. So for his passive, while Data Gusting is on the battlefield, all allies including summoned beings gain 20% more HP when recovering HP. So basically, if your ally units are basically recovering their own HP, he basically increases their HP recovery by 20%. Allies who have their HP recovered have their attack increased by 20% for 5 seconds. So when your ally is increasing their HP, when they're recovering their HP, they're also going to receive an additional attack boost, which is going to be 20% for 5 seconds. The first time the 3 patrol bots Data Gusting can summon are on the battlefield at the same time, exploding bots will drop to deal 600% of his attack as damage, stunning for 2 seconds. So he's able to summon these bots, and when they explode, they're going to stun enemies for 2 seconds, and the damage that they deal is based off of his attack. So right off the bat, he scales off of attack. Like, that's basically his whole kit. He scales off of attack. So that's pretty much his passive. He has an HP increase for his team, and he also has an attack boost and also a stun to basically enemy units. Now when we look at his first active skill, Data Gusting throws a Shinsu sphere which bounces between random targets. He basically throws these spheres and is going to ricochet towards other enemies, and is going to exclude allies at max HP. The Shinsu sphere splits in 2 each time it collides with a target, and it can bounce up to 3 times. If the target is an ally, it heals them for 400% of Data Gusting's attack and increases their swiftness by 20 for 10 seconds. So if the Shinsu sphere bounces off one of your allies is going to receive additional healing and also an additional swiftness increase by 20 for 10 seconds. So he's able to increase swiftness and also heal your allies with this active. If the target is an enemy, it deals 200% of Data Gusting's attack as damage and decreases their swiftness by 20 for 10 seconds. So basically, he increases your swiftness by 20. If the Shinsu sphere hits your allies, he increases their swiftness and also heals them. But if the Shinsu sphere hits an enemy, he's going to decrease their swiftness and also deal damage. So that's pretty much his active. And then for his second active, Data Gusting summons a flying patrol bot with stats equal to 40% of his own. He can summon up to 3 total bots. Patrol bots are overcharged when summoned and fly throughout the battlefield, piercing enemies to deal 100% of their attack as damage. Patrol bots become invincible while overcharged. Afterwards, patrol bots are immune to status effects and move on their own, dealing 100% of their attack as damage. The patrol bots are destroyed when Data Gusting dies. So basically, he's going to summon these patrol bots, and they're basically going to act on their own. And these patrol bots, they're basically going to disappear once Data Gusting dies. So as long as Data Gusting is alive, these patrol bots will basically stay on the battlefield and just do a lot of damage. And then when we look at his special move, it's pretty simple. Data Gusting heals all allies by 400% of his attack and removes all debuffs. His allies are then healed for 100% of his attack every second for 10 seconds. So his special move is an AoE healing, and on top of that, it's an AoE cleanse. So that's pretty much his kit. Now, when we look at his equipment set, now if you guys were to ask me which equipment set which equipment set works best on this character, as of to right now, the best equipment set for him is of course the max HP set. Now the reason why the max HP set is good for him is because it increases his max HP by 20% until the end of battle, basically increasing his survivability. And then if you get the 4-piece set effect, Ruinous Barrier is granted to all allies in the same row as the wielder at the start of the battle. The barrier is equal to 200% of the wielder's attack, does not stack. So his kit scales off of attack, and the max HP set, the barrier, scales off of attack as well. So this set really works well on him because his whole kit scales off of attack and the barrier also scales off of attack. So this set basically benefits, like putting attack on this character will not only increase his healing, it will also increase the barrier that he provides to your teammate. And then the Runa barrier lasts for 10 seconds, increasing the allies defense by 50% and restoring their energy by 50 every second. So this set is really good on him because it basically increases his survivability and also your teammate survivability and their energy and defense as well. So that's pretty much the set I put on him because he's basically a support unit. Lifesteal wouldn't make sense on him because he's not a DPS unit, so he's not really going to heal that much he's not going to really benefit that much from the lifesteal. Attack speed, not good on him either because he's not a DPS unit. Attack speed is only for, you know, DPS characters. And the defense set, he's not really a tank unit and he doesn't even have provocation. So out of all the sets, the max HP set really benefits him the most. So that's pretty much the ignition weapon system that you want to put on this character. Now, if we were talking about stats, now the most important stats on this character is of course attack, because the more attack you have on him, the more he can heal your team. I'll say HP is also a good stat for him because it can basically increase his survivability. Crit rate doesn't really matter because he's not a DPS character. Crit damage doesn't matter as well. Now we have the big three stats, which is accuracy, evasion, and swiftness. Now, if you guys were to ask me which stat is mostly important out of the three, I'll say the most important stats out of the three is evasion and swiftness. Accuracy, you don't really need a lot of accuracy on this character because when we look at his kit, right, the most important thing in his kit is his passive, which basically provides that additional attack boost and additional healing to your team. And then for his special skill, he basically does an AoE cleanse and he also heals your allies. These two skills don't require accuracy at all because they don't really do damage overall. Like, the only time you need accuracy on a character is when like the character is doing damage, but other than that, when you're healing your allies and you're doing a AoE cleanse debuff or something like that, you don't need accuracy for that at all. And I feel like the special skill and the passive, these are like the most important, these are the most important parts of his kit. For his active, I mean, for the Old Tome's Blessing, the only thing you need for this active is basically the additional swiftness increase and the swiftness debuff to enemies, and that's pretty much it. And for this active, you're just pretty much doing damage, and that's pretty much it. So overall, the passive and special skill, you don't really need accuracy for both of these special moves. You only need accuracy when you're doing damage. He's not a damage dealing character, so accuracy is not really that important on this character. It is like an additional, I'll say that accuracy for this character is like an additional bonus, and that's pretty much it. But you really want to focus on evasion and swiftness, and the reason why I say swiftness is because you want him to spam his special skill as much as possible so that you can get 100% uptime of AoE cleanse. And evasion basically increases his survivability so that he won't die too often, because I will say that Gusting, he is a squishy unit, and giving him a lot of evasion will basically increase his survivability and will basically allow him to stay on the battlefield longer. So evasion and swiftness, those are really important. Magic resistance is also important as well, so that he can basically take less damage against units to do magic damage. Physical resistance is also good as well. Lifesteal, I mean, lifesteal, every character has lifesteal, so you don't really have to worry about lifesteal. And effect resistance is also important as well, so that he basically won't get debuffed. Like, let's say the enemy stunned him. If the enemy stunned him, he won't be able to, you know, cast his special skill. So effect resistance is also pretty good. And effect hit, I'll say effect hit rate is also pretty good as well, because you want him to inflict that swiftness debuff on the enemy. So those are like the top stats that you definitely want to focus on with this character. Stats that focus on DPS, like, you know, crit rate, crit damage, magic pierce, physical pierce, stuff like that, you don't really have to worry about that at all, because he's not a damage dealing character, so you don't have to worry about damage stats. So those are pretty much the stats that you want to focus on. You want to focus on evasion, swiftness, effect resistance, physical resistance, magic resistance, attack, HP. That's pretty much it. And of course, critical damage reduction and critical hit resistance. So those are like the only things you want to worry about. Basically stats that can focus on his survivability, and that's pretty much it. So that's pretty much Gusting. And now we move on to how many copies you need of this character. Now, if you guys were to ask me how many copies you need of him, I would definitely say that Gusting, you definitely want to get him to at least 3 green stars or 3 blue stars. And the reason why I say this is because if you make him reach the 3 green stars, you're going to get that additional attack boost, which basically increases his healing. And then when you reach the 3 blue stars, you get a decreased damage taken from yellow element units. So these two bonus effects basically increase his survivability overall. Like, I feel like the only issue with Gusting is his survivability, and that's pretty much it. Like, he can basically get one tapped by units such as Endorsi. So these two units, like these two bonus effects, will really help him out. So 3 green stars and 3 blue stars, really good. If you can, you know, ascend him even more, he'll become even better overall. So now that we talked about his kit, which stats you need on him, and which equipment set you need on him, I'm going to go ahead and showcase him for you guys. Now, I'm going to showcase him first in adventure mode, and then we're going to go to arena trial, and I'm going to show you guys his potential when you get him to like full rainbow stars. And if we were to talk about teams, now the team that I would definitely put Gusting in is basically a team that has purple units such as Joaquin. You definitely want to pair him up with Joaquin, because he will basically buff up Joaquin's attack, and also he will basically heal Joaquin and increase Joaquin's survivability overall, and also Kaseya as well. So you definitely want to put him in a team with Joaquin. You want to put him in a team with like a tank unit as well, so that you can basically increase his survivability. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Like, if you have your Karaka built, you definitely want to put Karaka in as well. Like, this is like the best purple team for him. Like, the best purple team for Gusting is, where's my boy at? Where is Kun Aguero at? He should be somewhere around here. There he is. This is like the best team for him, because you have Kun Aguero, who's basically providing that AoE stun and also increasing purple element attack. You have Karaka, who's basically taunting enemies and also doing some pretty good damage as well. You have Kaseya, who's doing really nice damage. You have Joaquin, who's also doing good damage, and you basically have Gusting, who's healing the team, providing that AoE cleanse, and on top of that, buffing up DPS units. So this is by far like the best purple team I have for you guys so far. But I don't even have my Karaka build and my Kun Aguero build, so for now I'm basically going to use Auric Mazino, and also that is a hard. That's basically the team I'm sticking with for now. But you definitely want to put Joaquin with him, because Joaquin can do some serious damage with Gusting. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to shut up for you guys, and I'm going to show you guys some gameplay.
dancing while I'm on and on, without a clue, without a sign, without grasping it. The real question to be asked: where have I been? I'm a sharpshooter at Ghost Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw. I'm a sharpshooter. What else should I be? Please don't take off my mask, revealing dark. I can't tell you how to see me, just a cage of bones, there's nothing inside. Will it unleash me, burning down the walls? Is there a way for me to break? I'm a sharpshooter at Post Masquerade, hiding both face and mind, all free for you to draw.
So that's pretty much the performance I was able to show you guys. Now if we click battle stats, now if you guys saw Gusting, now he was targeted by Endorsi. Now Endorsi, she went to the back and immediately targeted him. So that's like one of the biggest threats is units like Endorsi. They will go to the back and they will instantly target Gusting, and chances of him dying is really high. So you definitely want to put him in the back with Joaquin, because Joaquin will basically defend Gusting and make sure that Gusting is able to stay alive. So you guys can basically see Gusting's damage. It's not really high, but look at his healing though. 13 million healing is really solid, and look at how much damage he was able to take. So overall, if you can keep this character alive, he can really do some really good things on your team. For example, buffing up your team, providing that AoE cleanse. He can really do a lot in your team. So overall, I feel like Gusting is going to be a really good character, especially if you have a lot of copies on him. Like the more copies you get on his character, I feel like his potential will just basically increase, and he's going to be broken for sure. But for now, I would definitely say that you definitely want to get copies on him in order for him to truly shine on your team. But overall, with no copies, he's still a pretty decent unit. The only issue with him is survivability, and that's pretty much it. But if you can manage to keep his character alive, he's gonna be a really insane, like he's gonna be really good overall. So he did some good healing, he provided some good attack boost to Joaquin, just a really solid character overall. So that's pretty much his performance and adventure. Now I'm going to go ahead and show you guys his trial area. Now when you the reason why I'm going to show you guys trial area is basically to show you guys his potential when you max him out with his limit break, like when you have max limit break on him. So this is pretty much the team that I'm going to use for him, and I'm going to show you guys this character's potential, and it is absolutely insane. So I'm going to go ahead, click for quick result, and look how much healing he's able to do. Now we might not win this. I think we're still going to win this though. Yeah, we still won. So look at his healing, 8 billion healing. That is crazy. Like his healing is even greater than Evans. It's greater than, it's just, his healing is just insane overall. So this character's healing is on like a whole nother level, and then he is like, of course, Rainbow. So that's literally what I'm saying. Like the more copies you get on Gusting, this character is definitely going to be busted when you get a lot of copies on him for sure. So his healing is actually serious. Like do not ignore his healing at all. Like his healing is really clutch, and the fact that he's able to provide some good healing for Joaquin, because Joaquin, the biggest problem with Joaquin was his survivability, and Gusting pretty much solves that like that whole situation, because he basically heals Joaquin, and on top of that buffs Joaquin's attack as well. So overall, Gusting, really amazing unit. He definitely works in purple teams. Definitely want to use him in purple teams because his potential in purple team it's just going to be absolutely insane. So that's pretty much Gusting's showcase. Overall, my full opinion on his character is that, should you invest in Gusting? The answer is yes. If you don't have Joaquin, if you don't have Kaseya, I would definitely recommend you guys to summon for those characters. I already made like a wishlist video, so if you guys are planning on, if you have a Gusting and you're wondering whether or not you want to build up the character, you should definitely build him up, because he is definitely going to benefit purple element, because he is by far one of the best purple element support unit we've had, we literally have so far. So yeah, you definitely want to invest on this character, and yeah, he's really solid. He buffs up Joaquin, does pretty good healing. So yeah, that's pretty much my take on Gusting. Really solid character overall. And I feel like the more copies you get on him, the more potential, I feel like his potential and his value increases the more copies you get on him. And of course, you can say the same for every character in this game, but I feel like for Gusting, I just feel like when you get, the reason why when you bring him up to Rainbow, he basically gets like an energy advantage, and that's pretty much every unit. When you reach Rainbow, you get that Battlestar energy, and I feel like that Battlestar energy is really good because you basically procs that AoE cleanse immediately right off the bat. So overall, Gusting, really solid character, and I feel like this character, he's definitely going to be cracked in the future. As of to right now, really good unit, and yeah, solid unit overall. But anyways, I'll be ending the video at that. Make sure you guys comment, like, and subscribe, and put your thoughts down below in the comment section of what you guys think overall. I appreciate you all for watching this video. Happy holidays, guys, and I hope you all have a good one. Peace.